Do you frequently use FileZilla to transfer files to or from an SFTP server? Let's see how we can use Diplomat MFT by Coviant Software to automate this mundane task and free up your time while also reducing errors. For this example, let's assume I'm uploading a positive pay file, which prevents check fraud, to my bank, which is JP Morgan Chase. Using FileZilla, you would see something like this: defining the connection, connect to the server, navigating to the folder where the positive pay files are to be uploaded. Here we see I uploaded one from yesterday. Now on the left side, I've determined where my positive pay file was created, usually from your accounting system, such as QuickBooks, Epicor, Great Plains, etc. And in this case, I have a file here and I can drag and drop it across to the other side. This manual effort allows me to perform the transfer. Everything is successful, and I'm done with that step. However, what happens if I am sick, or if I leave this job? Who has the knowledge and skills to perform this transfer, knowing where the source is, how to upload, what's required, etc. So let's see how we can do it in Diplomat MFT. First, I'm going to delete this file so we can upload it again. And now let's switch to Diplomat MFT. I have it installed on this machine. I access it through any web browser. And here I see that I've set up a transaction which defines the job of moving files from one place to any other place on a regular schedule. I'm looking for files that match the term positive star, meaning anything, .text. I leave destination blank because I'm not making any changes, and I'm not relying upon source file dates, either in the file name nor the modified date. So everything else remains the same. Now, after a file is transferred successfully, I will automatically delete it from the source location here, so that when this job executes again, it does not pick up that file to overwrite it. Next, I define where am I looking for those files at source. In this case, it's the network file share, where those positive pay reports are generated by my accounting system. I can press test to make sure I have access to it. Sure enough, here's the file. Then I define where are these files going. In this case, I've defined my connection as a partner, much like I had in the site manager of FileZilla. And I refer to it down here inside the transaction itself. I can click test to make sure that I access the server. Yes, I can. Even tells me where it's located. So I make sure I'm not accidentally connecting to some unknown server. Now that we've confirmed both source and destination, I can move on to the next parts of my configuration. Let's assume that your bank requires PGP encryption when you're uploading files, and PGP decryption when you're receiving files from your bank. This is something that FileZilla simply cannot do by itself, but Diplomat MFT allows you to choose these options with a simple checkbox. In this case, I'm going to encrypt the uploaded file prior to delivery using the JP Morgan Chase PGP public key, which I have imported here. Next, we're going to set up a schedule. For this example, I'll run a daily job that occurs each day at 11 p.m. For every delivery that occurs, every time this job executes, I have the option of sending notifications. Here I've given an example of 2 notifications. My support team internally will get email notifications about any warning or failure so they can respond to those issues as quickly as possible. The business user, on the other hand, in this case the accounting department, will receive an email every time this job executes. That way they know that the positive pay file has been uploaded, and they don't have to call or email or Slack you and ask, where are my files? Did they get there? In addition to email, we support Slack or Teams notifications. So here I'm sending a Teams notification every time this job executes. And lastly, Diplomat MFT provides an archive file of every file that gets transferred through this system, regardless of source or destination. So as I'm uploading these positive pay files, once they're successfully moved to the destination bank, they get deleted from the source location. But never fear, those files are actually stored inside the archive location for future recovery should you need to get back to those files. The archive can be configured to expunge files after a certain amount of time according to your retention policy. All right, our transaction is ready to go. Let's save it. And rather than waiting until 11 p.m. tonight for the first execution, I can scroll back up to the job execution panel and choose Run Now. This will initiate the transaction and show me exactly what happened. So it found this file, it transferred it as successful, and it tells me exactly what's going on. It found one file, transferred it, PGP encrypted it, and archived it. One interesting thing to note here is that we instructed Diplomat to delete the file after uploading, but it was not able to. So this email notification becomes very important because now your support team can go triage the situation to determine that the permissions on that network share do not allow Diplomat to delete the file. So they can go in and make sure the permissions are set properly. Notifications are super important when it comes to automation. So that's it. This is how Diplomat MFT can automate the file transfers that would otherwise be done using very manual, repetitive, mundane processes in FileZilla.